talk about the Browns real quick. I mean, last week they tried to get Baker to give a comment on it. He said it's not his problem anymore. Love that from him. They also restructured Baker's contract today, which was smart. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about Baker this week. I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders and what is going on in Cleveland, because I think that we are at a point where the Browns really have to consider the fact that Shedeur's been the best quarterback at their camp. He produces the best, and honestly, he looks the part the best. Joe Flacco looks old. He's not going to be moving around a lot. Gabrielle, I know you and I both liked him a lot. Good left-handed quarterback, but I just think he's not where Shedeur is in camp right now when you look at statistically what they're doing. It's going to be really interesting what the Browns do at this position. Shedeur had a good couple days to start preseason. I know at OTAs and rookie minicamp, Gabrielle was getting a lot of the snaps. Shedeur wasn't getting too much with the ones. But I know Gabrielle is still playing solid. I just think Shedeur is showing more of what he can do, and he's producing within scoring touchdowns. I don't know if you have seen any of this.
Well, I know that on day 4, Shedeur, I think he went 9 for 9. It was a big bounce back. I believe day 3 didn't really have a good practice, but he went day 4, 9 for 9. I think he threw 3 tutties.
It was 9 for 9, 2 tutties.
Yeah. My thing is, we're talking to the Browns. The Browns have taken a massive step back. They gave Deshaun a massive contract. We all know about it. You do have Flacco there, and I know everyone is tired of seeing old man sleepy Joe Flacco play football, but you also have 2 rookies who don't really, they've never taken a snap in the NFL level. I think the preseason is going to actually be very important for the Browns because you're going to see a lot of Dillon Gabrielle, you're going to see a lot of Shedeur, you're going to see some Kenny Pickett. I don't think
Kenny Pickett got injured.
Just now or
today?
Today, okay.
Yeah, so he's kind of out of the picture for now.
So he's out of the picture. He's not going to get the starting job, but Dillon Gabriel's looked good. I mean, it hasn't been flashy, but it's been smart. It's kind of been like Tua a little bit, pretty much. Shedeur has had his days where he's been shit and where he's sometimes good, sometimes shit. But when you look at Flacco, he just gets the job done, and it's not pretty. I think a lot of it's going to be, O-line dependent. You're going to have to be pending on the O-line depending on how their play is. You have a lot of returning guys, and it's really going to come down to that and preseason. For Shedeur, it's being smart on and off the field, not getting speeding tickets, not, mouthing off on social media. It makes such a crazy, bad look in a way. Sometimes a good look, sometimes a bad again, but he has a chance. I don't think they should rush him, though. Like, if Joe Flacco is winning games, you're going to roll with Joe Flacco. If you guys are, 1-5 at the start, then you change it up. But listen, they loaded up on defense. They're going to be a much better team than last year. Flacco's not the prettiest, but he gets the job done. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just keep the rookies aside.
So here's my thing with the Browns in talking about their quarterback room. They start the season Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings. It's an incredibly hard start. I mean, you look at the Packers, that's a team that they're always just solid. And Jordan Love was actually, I don't know if you saw on First Take today, Tannenbaum said that he was the best quarterback in the NFC. Let's pump the brakes there. But preseason-wise, they open up with the Panthers, and then they play the Eagles and the Rams. So they're going to be finishing preseason with 2 very strong defenses and well-coached defenses. The Panthers even are taking a step forward on defense and should be decent this year. I think that if Shedeur or Gabrielle shows out in those games and shows that they can play at this level, at an elite level, and be very productive and protect the ball and do well, I think it might be worth it to throw one of them in the fire, the one that's playing better. And because what are you going to do? You're going to say, okay, Joe Flacco, go in there and play against the Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, because you're probably not going to pull them in the first 5 games. So if you go in and you're like, go ahead, Joe, go play those games. You're going to go 0-5. Promise you that. The only game that's winnable there, in my mind, for the Browns is the Vikings. And that's only because J.J. McCarthy, I've seen a lot of stuff that he's struggling in camp. So I think it would be better for the Browns. Shedeur can handle this. He can handle the spotlight. If he goes in and they lose 3 or 4 of those games off the rip, I think he just brushed it off his shoulder and says, I'm a rookie. I'm learning. Like, no problem. I'm going to go watch film. And he's probably going to have his dad in his ear saying, you got to go watch film. You really got to bunker down because we got to turn this season around. Because then you look at their next 5, Steelers, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Ravens. Those are winnable games. Winnable games, especially for a guy like Shedeur. If he goes through that gauntlet to start and learns a little bit, and starts to fix stuff and turn it around for that Packers, Lions, Vikings stretch, all of a sudden the Browns could start getting on a roll and maybe find themselves in a position where they're playing for second place. Now, personally, I don't think that's on the cards this year, but I do think that with Shedeur Sanders, I think that's their best option this year. I really do. And I saw a news flash thing that said the Cleveland Browns owner is high on Arch. Not a great look coming out of a draft where he took 2 quarterbacks. But yeah, give me your thoughts on that little gauntlet there.
On the gauntlet itself, I mean, again, it's an NFL. Anything can happen. I think.
Yeah, but do you really believe that if you put Joe Flacco in there, it's going to be any better or different than having these 2 guys play?
I mean, the thing is, we can't really. We're not going to know until we see these guys in preseason action. And again, they're going to be going against second stringers. They're going to be going against third stringers. The one thing that's really interesting about the Browns is I feel like they've really updated their defense to where, it can be a top 5 defense like it used to be a couple of years back. And that's key. When you have something like that, you want to put your best guy forward. The Jets have been through the same thing for years. Very good defense that don't know what they're doing, no answer a quarterback on offense. And of course they're going to try to win right off the bat. And I believe, you look at Flacco, and yes, you see just the type of quarterback he is. But hey, if he gets protected, he's accurate, he's smart. And I know it's boring to watch, but like, it's the truth. I mean, I've seen it. He played on the Jets. He played on the Colts. He was better than AR. There was multiple conversations going around about, oh, do you start Flacco? Do you start AR? Flacco looked 10 times better than AR. Wasn't even close. And there's a 20-something year difference in the gap in the age. Like, it's if Stefanski thinks that one of these quarterbacks is ready day one on week 1 to start and win, do it. Why not? Joe Flacco is there as a veteran presence for pretty much him to teach them. Who's it going to be, though? Is it going to be Dillon Gabriel? Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders? We won't know, and I really think, crazy enough to say it, I think preseason will determine it.
And listen, I agree with all of that. I personally believe if they think Gabriel is the guy, they should go Flacco. Because I think Gabriel can learn a lot from sitting there on the sidelines, whereas Shedeur, I think he's going to learn way more if he's just thrown into the fire. I think his time at Colorado, the way he was brought up, being Deion's son, I think it's better for him to know, just be in it. Just get it going and, have that confidence as, I'm starting quarterback in the NFL right now. I need to do this, this, and this. He's going to have his dad in his ear. So it's going to be an interesting situation there in Cleveland. I think in a year or 2, they could be pretty good.
I think if you're talking about depth chart right now, I think we won't even go down the road. Well, week 5, it's going to change. For week 1, after the preseason right now, I think Shedeur will take a step out over Gabriel. Even though I do like Gabriel, I think he's going to be a guy that they might just nurture and just, let him learn because he does have the tangibles. Played at Oregon, he was very good in the college playoffs and just college in general. I think it will go Joe Flacco, and I think it will go Shedeur and then Dillon Gabriel. I think they're probably going to rush Shedeur more just because of, who the person is and how he's been doing. Again, it all depends on preseason, but I think Flacco will get the start. Shedeur will come next, and then Dillon Gabriel.